If the valve clearances are excessively large, the problem that can arise is A. Overheating of the engine, B. Incomplete valve closure, C. Fouling of spark plug by gasoline, D. None of these. The correct answer is incomplete valve closure. The power source for a brake booster is A. Exhaust manifold pressure, B. Electricity, C. The pressure difference between the atmospheric pressure and the vacuum pressure in the intake manifold, D. Hydraulic pump. The correct answer is the pressure difference between the atmospheric pressure and the vacuum pressure in the intake manifold. The diesel engines are also known as A. Spark ignition SI engines, B. Compression ignition CI engines, C. Steam engines, D. None of these. The correct answer is compression ignition CI engines. The specific gravity of acid in a fully charged battery is generally A. 1.00, B. 1.28, C. 1.82, D. 2.81. The correct answer is 1.28. The brake pedal during ABS operation, A. is pushed upward forcefully, B. pedal stroke becomes longer, C. transmits slight kickback to the driver's foot, D. all of the above. The correct answer is transmits slight kickback to the driver's foot. The gear shift lever requires two separate motions to shift gears, and the first movement, A. moves the synchronizer, B. selects the synchronizer, C. meshes the gears, D. operates the clutch. The correct answer is selects the synchronizer. Two-speed reverse gear arrangement is generally provided in case of A. passenger cars, B. matadors, C. tractors, D. trucks. The correct answer is tractors. Wheelbase of a vehicle is the A. distance between the centers of the front and rear wheels, B. distance between the centers of the front tires, C. distance between the centers of the rear tires, D. extreme length of the vehicle. The correct answer is distance between the centers of the front and rear wheels. Which of the following oil is more viscous? A. SAE 30, B. SAE 40, C. SAE 70, D. SAE 80. The correct answer is SAE 80. Odometer is an instrument used for measurement of A. power, B. fuel consumption, C. engine RPM, D. distance. The correct answer is distance. The compression ratio in diesel engines is less than the petrol engine. A. agree, B. disagree, C. D. The correct answer is disagree. In diesel engines, the duration between the time of injection and the time of ignition is called A. spill cutoff, B. delay period, C. injection period, D. ignition period. The correct answer is delay period. The negative terminal post on the top of a battery is A. smaller than the positive terminal post, B. larger than the positive terminal post, C. of the same size as the positive terminal post, D. none of these. The correct answer is smaller than the positive terminal post. In a single dry plate clutch, torsional vibrations are absorbed by A. coil springs known as torsional springs, B. cushion springs, C. central hub, D. clutch pedal. The correct answer is coil springs known as torsional springs. In a four-wheel drive 4WD, the number of gear boxes are A1, B2, C3, D4. The correct answer is 2. How many cells are used in a 12-volt car battery? A2, B4, C6, D8. The correct answer is 6. In an engine, the temperature of the piston will be more at the A. crown of the piston, B. skirt of the piston, C. piston walls, D. piston rings. The correct answer is crown of the piston. An over-inflated tire will wear the tread most near the A. edges, B. corners, C. center, D. none of these. The correct answer is center. Cushioning springs in clutch plate reduces A. vehicle speed, B. torsional vibrations, C. jerky starts, D. none of these. The correct answer is jerky starts. In a 4-stroke engine, for each crankshaft revolution the camshaft revolves A. 1/2 turn, B. 1 turn, C. 2 turns, D. 4 turns. The correct answer is 1/2 turn. If a tire is designated as 175/65 R1482S, then the aspect ratio for the tire is A. 175, B. 65, C. 14, D. 82. The correct answer is 65. An engine has a clearance volume of 100 cm 3 and a swept volume of 800 cm 3. The compression ratio is A. 7:1, B. 8:1, C. 9:1, D. 10:1. The correct answer is 9:1. Toe-in ensures parallel rolling of the wheel, thus stabilizing steering in addition to preventing both sides slipping and excessive tire wear. A. correct, B. incorrect, C. D. The correct answer is correct. The valve tappet clearance is measured by A. screw pitch gauge, B. engineering scale, C. feeler gauge, D. vernier caliper. The correct answer is feeler gauge. The basic purpose of tires is to A. grip the road and provide good traction, B. substitute for springs, C. act as brake, D. none of these. The correct answer is grip the road and provide good traction. The specific gravity of petrol is about A. 0.75, B. 0.85, C. 0.95, D. 1.25. The correct answer is 0.75. The clutch is located between the transmission and the A. engine, B. rear axle, C. propeller shaft, D. differential. The correct answer is engine. Which one of the following statement correctly describe the construction of a bevel-gear type differential? A. the drive shafts are splined to the differential carrier, B. the left side gear and the differential carrier rotate in constant unison, C. the differential carrier houses differential pinion gears and side gears, each pinion gear meshes with a different side gear, D. the differential carrier houses differential pinion gears and side gears. The correct answer is the differential carrier houses differential pinion gears and side gears. The brake warning light warns the driver of A. water in the master cylinder, B. air in the hydraulic system, C. failure of the primary or secondary circuit of hydraulic system, D. power brake failure. The correct answer is failure of the primary or secondary circuit of hydraulic system. Highest useful compression ratio HUCR is the highest compression ratio at which the A. engine can run, B. engine gives maximum output, C. engine is most efficient, D. fuel can be used in a test engine without knocking. The correct answer is fuel can be used in a test engine without knocking. In diesel engines, during suction, stroke is drawn in the cylinder. A. air and fuel, B. only fuel, C. only air, D. none of these. The correct answer is only air. The formula for Iso-octane is A C8H18, B C7H17, C C6H18, D C7H18. The correct answer is C8H18. The crankshaft of a typical inline 4-cylinder engine has balance weights A12, B4, C16, D8. The correct answer is 8. The function of a governor in automobiles is to A. Limit the power, B. Limit the vehicle speed, C. Maintain constant engine speed, D. Maximize the fuel economy. The correct answer is maintain constant engine speed. A petrol that detonates easily is called A. High-octane petrol, B. Low-octane petrol, C. Unleaded petrol, D. Blended fuel. The correct answer is low-octane petrol. In comparison to frame-type construction, the frameless structure construction of automobiles is economical when produced in numbers A. Small, B. Large, C. D. The correct answer is large. The minimum parking brake force is generally of gross vehicle mass GVM A. 5, B. 10, C. 15, D. 20. The correct answer is 20. Bead wires are made of A. Steel, B. Copper, C. Zinc, D. Aluminium. The correct answer is steel. The condition that results in large quantities of HC emission is A. High temperature combustion, B. Incomplete combustion, C. Low temperature combustion, D. High atmospheric temperature combustion. The correct answer is incomplete combustion. A petrol engine of a car develops 125 Nm torque at 2700 rpm. The car is driven in second gear having gear ratio of 1.75. The final drive ratio is 4.11. If the overall transmission efficiency is 90, then the torque available at the driving wheels is A. 8.091 Nm, B. 80.91 Nm, C. 809.1 Nm, D. 8091 Nm. The correct answer is 809.1 Nm. The advantage of the fuel injection system over the carburetor system is A. Improved fuel efficiency, B. Improved emission, C. Improved power output, D. All of these. The correct answer is all of these. The component of the oil filter that prevents the passage of metal particles and sludge is A. Element, B. Relief valve, C. Check valve, D. Case. The correct answer is element. Which one of the following statements correctly describes the construction of a planetary gear type differential? Other 6 planetary pinions rotate in constant mesh with the internal gears. B. One drive shaft is splined to the central gear and the other to the planetary gear. C. Each planetary pinion gear meshes with both the central gear and the internal gear. D. The internal gear is fixed to the planetary gear. The correct answer is one drive shaft is splined to the central gear and the other to the planetary gear. The engine oil viscosity is defined by ratings. A. Automatic transmission fluid ATF, B. Society of Automotive Engineers SAE, C. Gross vehicle weight GVW, D. American Petroleum Institute API. The correct answer is Society of Automotive Engineers SAE. A maintenance-free battery. A. Has lead antimony plate grid, B. Has lead calcium plate grid, C. Does not contain acid, D. Does not contain water. The correct answer is has lead calcium plate grid. The function of a connecting rod is A. To turn the flywheel, B. To drive the drive plate, C. To drive the fuel pump. D. To transmit motion of the piston to the crankshaft. The correct answer is to transmit motion of the piston to the crankshaft. In a diesel engine, the fuel is ignited by A. An electric spark. B. The heat of compression. C. The hot exhaust. D. None of these. The correct answer is the heat of compression. The engine oil level should be checked. A. Immediately after the ignition switch is turned off. B. While the engine is running. C. A few minutes after the ignition switch is turned off. D. While the engine is running at high idle speed. The correct answer is a few minutes after the ignition switch is turned off. In a 4-cylinder inline engine, the number of firing strokes in one revolution of the crank is A1, B2, C3, D4. The correct answer is 2. The advantage of a tubeless tire over tube-type tire is A. Slow air leakage. B. Better fuel efficiency. C. Less chances of running flat. D. All of these. The correct answer is all of these. The diesel engines as compared to petrol engines require A. Bigger flywheel. B. Smaller flywheel. C. Same size of flywheel. D. No flywheel. The correct answer is bigger flywheel. In a forced feed lubrication system, the device used to guard against excessive oil pressure is known as A. Release chamber. B. Balancer. C. Relief valve. D. Stop valve. The correct answer is relief valve. The seat belt tensioners are built in the A. front seats. B. shoulder anchors. C. seat belt retractors. D. seat belt buckles. The correct answer is seat belt retractors. When the vehicle is at rest, the clutch is in engaged position. A. Correct. B. Incorrect. C. D. The correct answer is correct.